well-rounded, college-educated, clean-cut American. And yet he has one of the hardest jobs that there is.
Gather round, thrill seekers, for a hair-raising journey into the dark side of All Hallows Eve. We're diving deep into the most bone-chilling real-life horror stories that'll make your Halloween haunts look tame. So, kill the lights, cozy up to a steaming cup of witch's brew, and prepare for a fright-filled ride. Kicking things off, it's 1981. And notorious New York City serial killer David Berkowitz, aka Son of Sam, cryptically predicts a murder from behind bars. Picture this. Berkowitz is serving time when he starts weaving an unsettling tale about a satanic cult brutally killing a couple in their apartment. The bone-chilling details of the layout, murder weapons, number of killers, he spells it all out. What happens next is enough to make your skin crawl. That very same Halloween night, a couple is found sadistically slain in their Manhattan apartment in the exact way Berkowitz described. The weapons, the layout, the number of killers, it's all there. So was it just a spine-tingling coincidence, or did Berkowitz have a real psychic vision of terror? We may never know. Now let's hop in our time machine and travel back to 1957, where a bitter love triangle spawned a diabolical Halloween murder plot. The sinister story goes like this. Jilted lady Joanne Rebel feels scorned when her lover Peter Fabiano refuses to leave his wife Betty. Consumed by jealousy, Rebel hatches a wicked plan to eliminate her perceived rival in love. On Halloween night, she manipulates an impressionable young man named Goldie into gunning down Fabiano at point-blank range when he answers the door for some trick-or-treaters. The cold-blooded murder unfolds just as Rebel orchestrated. Love, jealousy, and premeditated murder on All Hallows Eve. It's a chilling tale. Fast forward to 1997, where a cruel Halloween cradle robber sends shivers down parents' spines. A pleasant neighborhood is shattered when 1-month-old Nima Louise Carter is snatched from her crib and vanished without a trace. One agonizing month later, little Nima's lifeless body is found decomposed inside an abandoned fridge, leaving investigators puzzled. But here's the bone-chilling twist. Just the year before, the same babysitter was implicated in the attempted fridge imprisonment of 2 other children under her care. While never convicted for Nima's death, it paints a haunting picture of an evil lurking in plain sight. Speaking of sinister characters, in 1998, a group of New York City teens take an impulsive Halloween prank too far, leading to unintended but devastating consequences on an eerily quiet street. It starts simple enough, tossing eggs at an unassuming car, but things spiral out of control when the driver steps out to confront them, leading one of the teens to fatally shoot the man without provocation. The man left behind a girlfriend waiting for him that he'd never arrived to pick up. It's a chilling reminder that the line between mischief and mindless violence can blur in a heartbeat. Next up, in Oregon, a man makes a terrifying discovery buried among his Halloween decor. A letter from a Chinese labor camp prisoner begging for help and exposing the bleak horrors within. Terrified and confused, the man brings it to authorities. It's soon confirmed to be legitimate, a real-life message in a bottle from someone enduring brutal working conditions against their will. This sinister real-life tale lays bare the darkness that can lurk behind even the most common goods. Let's turn back the clock to Halloween 1963, where an evening of festive entertainment turned into a waking nightmare when Indianapolis's Indiana State Fairground Coliseum erupted in a propane-fueled explosion. In an instant, 74 souls were lost and over 400 injured. Mere hours before the blast, the venue was buzzing with excitement for the upcoming Holiday on Ice show. But just past 11 p.m. as attendees settled into their seats, a massive blast shattered the tranquility and darkened the halls. Survivors described an apocalyptic scene of rubble and anguish akin to a war zone. It remains a haunting reminder of how fragile life can be. Now for a legendary radio stunt that deceived a nation, Orson Welles' 1938 broadcast of War of the Worlds. By mimicking a breaking newscast, Welles and his team convinced millions listening along that Martians had actually invaded New Jersey. Mass hysteria ensued as people panicked, with some loading up cars to flee what they wholeheartedly believed was an alien apocalypse. Nearly 1 million believed the events were real until the next morning when newspapers revealed it as fiction. It showed the power of mass media to blur reality and illusion. Let's rewind again back to 1926, when the great Harry Houdini boasted that his abs were impervious to punches, a claim that would prove fatal. While entertaining students after a show in Montreal, he urged them to test his body's steeliness, not one to back down from a challenge. Houdini permitted repeated blows to the stomach. While seemingly fine at first, he soon was writhing in pain, which worsened into a poisoning that claimed his life days later. The mighty magician had perished due to a ruptured appendix from the blows. So, was it simply an impulsive act gone wrong, or a premeditated hit job by spiritualist Houdini had worked to discredit? The world may never know. Next up, in the heart of New York City, 2014 took a macabre turn when a passerby witnessed something so horrifying they thought it must be a decoration. On a bustling street, a man calmly emerged from his apartment building, dragging a corpse with its head just absent. Kicking the lifeless head down the sidewalk, he disappeared back inside as if nothing was amiss, while onlookers chuckled nervously. But the scene was no deco or stunt. Soon, police swarmed, confirming it was a homicide. The man turned out to be the victim's own son, who took her life in a fit of insanity. Moments later, he ended his own in front of an oncoming subway. It was a scene straight out of a slasher flick, except this was no movie. Lastly, who could forget one of the most shocking poisonings in modern history? The 1974 Halloween sadist, Ronald Clark O'Brien. In an attempt to cash in a massive insurance policy, this monster gave out cyanide-laced pixie sticks to his own child and others, leaving little bodies scattered in his wake. He slipped the tainted candy into their treat bags, keeping up appearances as just another doting dad taking his kid trick-or-treating. Police uncovered the barbaric lengths he went to execute this sinister candy plot, leading to his conviction and execution. So, as you grab fun-sized sweets this Halloween, spare a thought for his innocent victims. There you have it, a lineup of chilling real-life tales more terrifying than any movie marathon. As you celebrate Halloween this year, remember that sometimes real life can be far scarier than fiction. The veil between the spirit realm and our own feels especially thin, so watch out for things that go bump in the night. Now, if you haven't already, smash that like button if you enjoyed our foray to the dark side. And don't forget to subscribe and click the bell for more creepy content all year round. We'll see you in the next one.